What's up, everybody? Hope you all had a great day today. Getting into this episode of GH, I enjoyed this, parts of this episode. A lot of good parts to it for me. Um, Ava, Sunny, and Nina's relationships have all come a long way. Like, I would have never thought that Ava and Nina would be friends. And I like their friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it came a long way. I mean, Nina, was in a coma. Well, before the coma, Ava slept with her husband, got pregnant by him. Nina snatched a whole baby out of Ava's vagina. So it's kind of crazy, like how their friendship came full circle. They became friends. Like, that's nuts to me. I would have never thought that. Especially after everything Ava and Sunny's been through. I'm surprised that they're cordial with each other, not just for Avery's sake, but they've gotten along a lot better on their own. Which is bananas to me. I'm not mad at Ava. Ava was telling Nina what's going on with her and Nikolas and stuff, and she told her about Esme in the pregnancy and the fact that Nikolas is the father. Everybody's reaction to it is fucking hilarious. Like, everybody's face is just hitting the floor when they find out. It is hilarious to me. I don't blame Ava. Ava was like, basically, she coming for it all in the divorce. Like, not only is she going to get a fat settlement financially from this, but she also intends on taking Windermere and Spoon Island from them. I'm not mad at her. If she could pull that off, kudos to her. You know what I'm saying? Take what you can get from his ass. I encourage it. You know what I'm saying? Go for yours. He publicly humiliated her multiple times. Go for yours. I totally support it. Because when Sonny came over and stuff, he was telling him about Spencer staying at his place. And Ava, she was happy for him and stuff that he getting away from Nikolas. And even Sonny was surprised that she was saying something nice about Spencer. And, she told Sonny how, he apologized to her. And she said, Spencer is pretty much one less person that she has to evict now. And he was wondering, like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Because she was like, she planned on taking Windermere. I'm like, listen, like I said, if she could pull that off, more power to her. So Sonny went rifling through, the stuff that Britt's files and stuff like that, because it was sitting on the coffee table. So he pick up the paperwork and stuff, and he sees something. I'm guessing it's the Willow case, like her diagnosis and stuff, her paperwork. So I'm guessing that's what he saw, because Nina asked him, like, is everything okay? He was like, nah. I'm guessing that's what he saw. So I think that's gonna open up the floodgates now. So moving on from that, Michael and his little whiny self, like, he's upset because everybody keep pushing him to reconcile with Sonny. I get where he's coming from. I do. At the end of the day, can't nobody force him to be cool with Sonny again. And in my opinion, if Michael wants to be mad at Sonny, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? That's his prerogative. But I would think that after everything going on with Willow and stuff like that, he would at least pull out his stupid plan to take Sonny down. Because I find that plan to be dumb, and I think it's going to backfire in a major way on him. And he's going to put a lot of people at risk with this plan. Especially knowing that Sonny's about to do business with some very dangerous group of people. You would think that he would want to back out of this. So I feel like he's turning into the very thing that he hates. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny how he calls Sonny a hypocrite. And don't get me wrong, Sonny's definitely a hypocrite, but Michael is just as much a hypocrite as Sonny. Everything he hates about Sonny is stuff that he supported about Sonny for years. And not only that, but at one point, not even at one point, at a couple points, he wanted to be a mobster. And Sonny had to steer him in a whole nother direction. You know what I'm saying? So he's just as much a hypocrite as Sonny. Like, a lot of stuff that Michael, the nice lifestyle that he had when he was living with Sonny when he was a child, all came from mob money that he didn't care about, that he was happy to, indulge in. But now all of a sudden you don't like the lifestyle that he lives. Oh, please. So if Sonny's a hypocrite, Michael's an even bigger hypocrite. So anyway, moving on from that, Willow was just getting blow by blow at this point. Terry pretty much came in because Terry's exhausted at this point. She was like, ever since Britt is gone and she had to take over the workload and stuff, she just been spinning, as sole chief of staff. And, I get it. It's a lot of workload. I think she should at least get another co-chief of staff. Like, why not Portia or somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure Portia got enough years on the job to qualify as co-chief. She wants to New position. I don't see why not. Um, Cause I think Portia was even going for that position at one point. I think she was gonna throw her hat in the ring as a new chief. So I say why not? So Terry came in and pretty much told Willow that the chemotherapy is not, going as they hoped. Like it's not going the right way. So she wants to induce Willow's labor. And Willow's not happy about that because she, wants the baby to go to term. But, Michael kept trying to tell her, like, listen, she wouldn't have, put that out there as an option if she didn't think that it was a good thing to do. I mean, they got time to think, but you ain't got that much time to think. At the end of the day, you got to make decisions, drastic ones. Because surgery and stuff like that, it can hurt the baby. You know what I mean? So now she comes back into the room and tells Willow that the donor, they can't sign off on the donor that they found for her due to some reasons or whatever. They can't sign off. So now she doesn't have a donor. They have to go and find a whole nother donor now. I said, well, damn, you just getting bad news after bad news at this point. Listen, if I had to be in her shoes and I'm getting all this bad news, I'd probably faint. Like, I would probably I would fall out. I'd be like, listen, you're not going to keep telling me all this news now. Am I dying? I'm just saying. So anyway, moving on from that. So Nikolas went to go meet up with Alexis. And Alexis was curious. She was like, okay, what the hell you want? Like, what you want to meet up with me for? What you want from me? So he pretty much told her about Esme and the fact that she's pregnant with his baby. The way Alexis reacted to it was funny as shit. Like, her mouth just said, she said, what? Like, she was just flabbergasted. Like, she was just speechless. And she pretty much laid into him and stuff like that. He talking about something, I already got an earful from my mother. I'm like, when did Laura tap into his ass about this? Because I think we missed that scene. I would have really loved to see that. I said, Laura done dug into his ass about this? I wanted to see that scene. But, Nikolas wanted her help because he wants full custody of the baby once it's born. And Alexis was like, no, I'm not going to help you with that. Because she was like, even though it is Esme we're talking about, she's not going to do to Esme what her father did to her. Because remember, Mikos took Sam from her. You know what I mean? And she's not going to separate a mother and a child, even if it is Esme. She can't help with that. She can't be the one, dealing with that personally. And I don't blame Alexis. At the end of the day, I wouldn't want to have nothing to do with that shit either. I would wash my hands with that nonsense. And she lit into Nikolas because he's sitting there talking all this stuff about the baby. Oh, I want to give the baby all the things I didn't give Spencer and all this, that, and the third. And Alexis told him the same exact thing Victor told him. You don't get to have a do-over. You can't use this child as a do-over. You don't get that option. And he keeps talking about this unborn baby, and Alexis told him, what the hell about Spencer? What about the child that you currently have here? Why are you not trying to mend fences with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, Alexis was digging into his ass, and I loved it. Like, she was getting on him. But she told him, like, listen, I'm not going to personally get involved with this. I don't even think Alexis can because, as far as I know, she still ain't practicing law. Like, her law license is still revoked or whatever, suspended or whatever. Even though with a few phone calls, I'm pretty sure she could get it back because even Anna offered to help her with that. So, and I'm pretty sure if she called Diane could easily get that shit back for her. But I think she happy where she is, running the invader and stuff. I think she cool with that. But she told him basically that she was going to get him a lawyer who specializes in difficult custody cases. So, moving on from that, so Spencer and Sonny pop up at Windermere and stuff like that. Victor, of course, he's not thrilled about Spencer going to live with Sonny. But I don't blame Spencer. He wants nothing to do with Nikolas at all. So while he go to get his stuff, Victor trying to sit there and get Sonny on his side to mend fences between Spencer and Nikolas. And Sonny said, no, I'm not going to help you with that. He said at the end of the day, Spencer's a grown man now, and Nikolas has failed him numerous times, so I'm not going to advocate on his behalf. If Spencer ever wants to reach out to Nikolas, then that's on him. But I'm not going to be the one to facilitate that, and I don't blame Sonny. At the end of the day, Spencer's not a child anymore. He's a legal adult. He has his own mind. And Sonny was like, listen, that's my nephew. I'm here to help him any way that I can. But as far as like trying to talk him into reconciling with Nikolas, he said, you lost me with that. I'm not going to do that. So Victor tried to bring up his situation with Michael, and that's when Sonny kind of flipped out on him, like, "Yo, don't bring up my family." He was like, "Don't do that." Sonny said, "Listen, you barking up the wrong tree with that one, good brother." Um, and then Victor started talking about, "Oh, we don't never really know how much time we really have," and um, Sonny was very confused by that, and so was I. I'm like, "What the hell is Victor talking about? One never knows how much time they have. What is that supposed to mean? Because that sounded very ominous." So when Spencer came back down or whatever, he was like, "Oh, Dimitri is gonna get the rest of my stuff from the North Tower and send it to me." Victor was under the impression that the North Tower was closed, but Spencer was like, "It's back open again." So Victor got to thinking, like he started getting suspicious because remember Nikolas moved mountains to keep them out of the North Tower. Um, so when Nikolas got home, Victor lit into his ass again because Victor was like, "You got some explaining to do. You want to tell me what the hell going on in the North Tower?" Because he showed him that Christmas ornament that was burnt. So Victor gonna start putting the pieces together about what the hell happened. It ain't gonna take long for him to do that. Because even if Nikolas try to spin a little tail and lie to him, it's only a matter of time before Victor figure out like, no, it's something else. Because Victor usually can tell when somebody playing him. Like sometimes he could just tell by the way you answer and the way you look. So it's getting good. I mean, it's heating up. So anyway, not only is Victor gonna figure out he's not the only one with interest about Windermere, because Dante and Jordan they wanted to know if Esme could answer some questions. So Finn checked her out. He was like, yeah, she clear to answer questions. So Dante was showing Esme all the photos of Cam, Joss, Trina, Oz, and she claimed that she didn't know who those people were. And she tried to clam up and say, "Oh, all this is getting to her and it's too much." So Martin told him to leave. So Martin pretty much told her like, "You need an alibi," pretty much, because he was like, at the end of the day, Martin feels he could get her out from under these charges, the porn charge, recording Jocelyn and Cameron having sex. He feels he can get her out of that because the only real witness that they have, which is Oz, he's dead. He can't testify. So he figures he can get that charge thrown out. Then the hook killer stuff, he feels he can also get that thrown out because she's heavily pregnant. There's no way in the world she could have attacked all these people, especially full-grown men who can defend themselves in her condition. So all he has to do is produce an alibi. All he got to do is figure out where she's been the last few months. Once he figures that out, he could, finagle the charges to get dropped. Because Dante pretty much told Jordan the exact same thing. He was like, "We need to find out where the hell she been all these months." Because he said if she's not faking, he said because if Esme is faking, she doing a hell of a job because she is convincing. Because I mean it's Esme. Of course everybody gonna think she faking, but she's doing a bang up job at faking it. Like she's coming off very convincing. So I'm starting to believe that she does have amnesia and doesn't remember, unless she's just that good. But Dante still doesn't believe that they have her for the hook killings because in her condition, he don't believe that she did it. As far as the porn stuff, he feels like they could still nail her for that, plus the attack on Oz. You going up against Kentucky Fried Martin, so I don't know. Martin is a crafty lawyer himself, so I don't know. If he can get that thrown out, then y'all in trouble. Because it seemed like baby girl about to walk. with Martin in the case, she just might walk. I'm just saying. Because, I mean, the evidence they got is pretty thin now that Oz is dead, so I don't know, Dante. You might have to go to the drawing board on this one, good bro. So anyway, Liz and Finn started talking or whatever. He wanted to check in on her because, Esme is pregnant and he feels like, oh, because you just had a miscarriage. That little fake ass miscarriage. And she talking about, oh, you don't have to pretend to care about me. I'm like, Liz, go sit down somewhere. That man is not pretending to care about you. He actually does. I don't know why, but he does. With all the foolishness that she been causing the last few months, it's a wonder why he still care. But he was like, you still Violet's aunt, so I'm always gonna care. She was about to tell him the truth too. I believe she was about to tell him the truth about everything, but Jordan interrupted, of course, because she had some more questions about her attack on the pier with Esme. And she asked her, did she notice if Esme was pregnant? And she was like, it was dark, and she had on dark clothing, so she couldn't tell. So now they trying to figure out where she could have been all this time. They need an alibi. So Finn pretty much pointed them in the direction of Windermere because they said every time Esme would pop up, or anything associated with Esme, it was always at the pier or on Windermere. And plus, she did hop on the Hornet Star soaking wet, so Dante says she could have, landed in the ocean from the island. So they definitely gonna start at Windermere. And that's the last thing Nikolas is gonna need right about now, is for them poking around that damn room. Because my thing is, Nikolas said Demetrius got rid of everything. He was scrubbing the whole North Tower of Esme. But yet Victor found that burnt ornament. So if Victor can find that, what makes you think Dante and them, they can't find nothing of hers if he could find that? So obviously Demetrius is not doing what he's paid to do, or he's not that good at it. But anyway, this is a pretty decent episode. I enjoyed it. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Have a good night. Peace.